Welcome to Cory's Conscious Living.
Hi guys, do you want to be in the cat club? Do you know what the cat club is? Heidi, Cherry and Vaya have an exclusive club for members to come and join. It's $7 a month. Every 7th of the month you get 3 exclusive Heidi, Cherry and Vaya stories that only you get to listen to. No one else that's not in the club gets to get these stories, so they're very special. If you want to know more about it, get a guardian or your mum and dad to help you to look at the link below the video to check out the cat club. Namaste, my little friend. Enjoy your story. Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Get comfortable in your bed. Make sure that you can relax your body and let go of your busy day. Heidi, Cherry and Vaya were all at the park. There were 2 swings. There were 3 cats. Cherry had just said to Heidi, "I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get how you're supposed to take turns all the time. I mean, who invented taking turns? I think taking turns is the most annoying thing in the world. You know why I think that taking turns is the most annoying thing in the world?" Vaya said, "Why?" Cherry said, "'Cause it is. It just is. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me." Heidi said, "Cherry, how can taking turns not make sense? If there's 2 swings and there's 3 of us, we have to take turns. Otherwise, someone will be standing, not playing on the swing at all for ages, and that's not very fair." Cherry said, "Yeah, I get that. I know what you mean. I get it. But still, I mean, I don't like taking turns. I mean, if you took a poll, right? If you took 20 of our friends and you lined them up and you said, 'Jerry, do you like taking turns?' Jerry would say, 'No.' Then you'd say, 'Tom, do you like taking turns?' Tom would go, 'No.' And then I'd say, 'Julia, do you like taking turns? You're a sweet, nice person. Do you like taking turns?' Julia would go, 'No.' Heidi said, 'I don't think that's true, Cherry. I think that most people would actually say they don't mind taking turns because it means they get to have a turn themselves.' 'I don't know what you mean,' said Cherry. Vaya said, 'Well, if me and Heidi were playing on these swings together right now and we didn't take turns, what would you do?' Cherry said, Oh, I see. I get it. I get what you mean. 'Cause if you don't take turns, then how am I going to have a turn?' Heidi said, 'There you go. Eureka. You got it. Exactly. How are you going to get a turn if all 3 of us don't take turns?' 'Well, how about this? How about, you take turns, Heidi, and Vaya, you take turns, and I just keep going and going and going and going and going, and you 2 just take turns back and forward, and you don't even have to involve me in you taking turns, is because you 2've got it worked out, right?' Heidi said, 'Now, Cherry, that wouldn't be fair, would it?' Cherry said, I think so. It's fair on me.' Vaya said, 'No, Cherry, no, that wouldn't be fair because that means myself and Heidi have to keep going back and forth, meaning one of us has to compromise and the other one has to be willing enough to get off the swing for the other one to take a turn and compromise and go back and compromise and go back and compromise. and so on and so on and so on. But if you're not involved in that, that means that you just get it good all of the time. And that doesn't seem very fair. Cherry said, "Oh, so we're talking about fair now, are we? Right, well, is fair always involved in sharing? Because, you know, if you have to be fair, then, I mean, it sounds like you have to share, right? Fairing and sharing, it goes together, right? No, fair, share, no, caring and sharing. Caring and sharing, I'm a poet. Caring and sharing is brilliant. Because if you care, you share. And if you don't care, you don't share. And then what happens? I just realised what happens. Said this. Heidi and Vaya, you're on the swings. And you don't give me a turn. And I really want a turn. And I'm like, hey, you two, it's my turn. Let's share. And you're like, no, we're not sharing with you because we don't like you. And I'd be like, oh, OMG, that's awful. You really mean that? You really mean it? And you two would be like, no, we're just pretending. We're trying to get the point across about sharing. And I'd be like, oh, okay, well, in that case, I'm just going to push one of you guys off. Oh, can you imagine? Heidi said, now that is not caring. Cherry said, I know, right, exactly. That would be absolutely awful. But if you're not taking turns, someone could get really upset and get really angry and frustrated and be like, that's not fair, and push, couldn't they? And then they'd get into trouble, of course. And then they'd probably get grounded, of course. And then they probably won't be able to have dessert or something like that. Of course. And if it's really bad and they didn't say sorry, that would be so bad. Oh, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it all, Heidi. I'm seeing why sharing is caring and not sharing is very dangerous. I've decided. And even more so, if you think about it, when you share, right, you have to do it equally. I'm so smart. I knew when we had this conversation earlier that I wasn't quite getting all of my brain cells into action. Now I'm getting all my brain cells into action and I'm feeling so smart. You know why I'm so smart? Because you have to do things equally. Because if I share and you share, Heidi, and Vaya only shares once in a while, that's not equal. And that means that's not fair. And that means that could make someone very upset and get pushy. That's not good. And then we'd be in trouble with my mum and dad. And then I'd probably lose my friends for being all pushy and not very nice. Because who wants to be friends with someone that's not very nice like that? Absolutely no one. Heidi said, thank goodness you're actually getting what it means and why we share. I thought we were just in a losing battle then, didn't you, Vaya? Vaya said, Yeah, I was worried. So worried. I was thinking about maybe just not going to the park anymore because it's too much trouble to go to the park with a friend that doesn't want to share. Heidi said, good point, Vaya. You know, if you have one of those friends that's always quite mean and doesn't care, they're not caring and sharing, they're actually just really greedy and they don't take turns, or they're really spiteful and they don't take turns, or they just don't care and they just don't take turns. Those friends, well, they're not very nice to be around, are they? Cherry said, OMG! You know what? If I'd have not had all my brain cells just turned on right now, like little light bulbs in my mind, then I could have been one of those friends that nobody liked. Oh, that's awful. I could have been alone in the park, swinging all alone, even though that would mean I would have a very long turn. But still, it's not worth it, because I'd rather have friends. What's that song now? Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll, something carry on. Heidi said, it's for it won't be long till I'm gonna need. And Vaya said, somebody to lean on. All three cats started singing the song because they really liked that song. And then after a while, they decided that they'd finished on the swings and they were going to go over and play on the slide. But there was only one slide, which meant they had to take turns. They had to share. Cherry said, OMG, it's all about sharing when you play at the park, isn't it? Everybody has to share. Let's share. Let's take turns and share. Sharing is caring. Oh, sharing is caring. You know what? I've been thinking, right? I've been thinking that when I grow up, right, and I'm a singer and I'm famous, I'm going to write a song about sharing. I'm going to write a song about friendship and sharing and caring and pushing and being mean and not being a nice friend and being lonely. And sometimes friends can be really spiteful and then they can push. And I'm going to have part of my song, I'm going to talk about being grounded, because you get grounded when you're not very nice. And also in part of my song, I'm going to talk about that you should never, ever, ever put your hands on people because that's not very nice. It's going to be such an amazing song. You know what, guys? I'm thinking now that I can really all my little brain things are sparking up and lighting up. I'm getting lyrics coming to me about my song, and I need to go home and I need to write my song right now before I forget, because otherwise I'm going to forget, and then all these interesting, fantastic lyrical words that are coming to my mind are just going to disappear, and then what am I going to do? I won't have a song. So can we go? Is it okay to go home? Heidi said, no, actually not really, because I would like to have 2 more goes on this slide. Vaya said, yes, me too. Cherry said, guys, no, OMG, this is super important. Why aren't we going home now? Why aren't we doing exactly what I need now? Why aren't we doing what I want to do right now? It's very important. I'm going to be a pop star when I grow up. And you have to do what I say, because you have to listen to me, because this is super important. And if we don't do it, then I'm going to lose this very, 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 very awesome song. Heidi said, it's all about give and take, Cherry. You can't just do exactly what you want all the time. It's like sharing, right? Caring, right? Cherry said, OMG, it's all about lessons today, ain't it? It's all about learning. This park, I love this park. I don't like this lesson though. I like to do things when I want to do them, and I don't want someone telling me that I have to wait my turn or have to wait until someone else wants to do what they want to do or finish what they want to do or do what they want to do first, because that just doesn't feel right with me, because I'm so important. Heidi said, exactly. You have to realize that everyone thinks they're important and everyone needs their own space or their thing that they need to happen or their turn for when it happens, right? It's not just about you, Cherry. Vaya said, Cherry, we love you so much, but it's all about compromise. Cherry said, oh, that's a fancy word, compromise. Oh, gosh, we really have to go home. If we don't go home right now, I'm just going to lose it. I'm going to lose all this special song in my mind. I'm going to lose what that word compromise. See, I've already lost it. Compost. No. Composition. No, what's that one now? That's a nice word, but I forgot what that one means. Heidi said, compromise. Cherry said, That's it! That's it! Oh gosh, please guys, let's go, let's go, let's go! Please, please, pretty please, 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 mushy peas, we please, please, we please is on top! Please! Heidi and Vaya were done on the slide, and they were okay now about going home with Cherry. When they got home, Cherry wrote down her song that was going to make her even more famous than she was already. And that would be difficult because, in Cherry's mind, she was going to be super famous when she got older. Cherry spent a couple of hours writing her song, pretending to play different instruments, even though she couldn't play any instruments at this point. But that was on her checklist. That was on her list, a wish list of things to do for the future when she got older. She was going to learn how to play guitar. She was going to learn how to play the drums. She was going to learn how to play bass. She was going to learn how to be her own one-man band if she needed to. She was going to make it happen. She was going to be famous. It was a requirement. And then eventually she got tired and she joined Vaya and Heidi in their big, soft, comfortable bed. She settled down, turned around and around a few times, and then snuggled into her sisters. She told them that she was going to sing them her song tomorrow, and it was awesome. OMG, amazing. And just like that, she fell fast asleep. It had been a long day with lots of learning and lots of life lessons and lots of creative, magical songwriting. The end.